You're listening to E-Commerce Fastlane, episode 39.
Welcome to E-Commerce Fastlane, the podcast show to help you build, launch, grow, and scale a wildly successful e-commerce company. Listen to real conversations with proven practical strategies and success stories. Learn how to generate more traffic, more sales, more profit, and customer lifetime value for your Shopify store. And now, your host and e-commerce entrepreneur, Steve Hutt.
Hey there, it's Steve, and welcome back to the E-Commerce Fastlane podcast. Now, this is your first time listening. This is an e-commerce show where we have honest and transparent conversations about building and thriving online with your store powered by Shopify or Shopify Plus. Now, new episodes are available each week with your favorite podcast player through iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Spotify. Or you can also sign up online at ecommercefastlane.com. You can stream it live there, or you can be notified when new shows are being released. Now, in today's episode, I'm chatting with Yoni Elbaz, who is the co-founder and CEO of a platform called Loox, and it's spelled Loox. And, I've been wanting to get him on the show for a while now, and, I'm glad that we're able to make this work today. And, you're definitely going to be in for a treat. You're going to learn a lot about the power of collecting photo reviews for your happy customers, which then will strengthen your brand and kind of drive more sales through social proof. So it's definitely a must-have strategy and a great technology stack that can make all of this happen. So let's jump into the show. So hi, Yoni. Welcome to E-Commerce Fastlane.
Hey, Steve. It's great to be here. Thank you.
My pleasure. I'm going to start right off the top here is that, I follow you through a lot of the Facebook groups and through Twitter and stuff. You hit a milestone today, or certainly last week, with 20,000 paying customers now using Loox. And I just want to give you kind of a public kudos of a fantastic job that you and your team are doing.
Thank you so much. It's a huge milestone for us, and we couldn't be happier.
So on a high level, there's some people, of the 500,000 or 600,000 merchants that are on Shopify, 20,000 of them know who you are and are, actively using your solution. But of the others that don't know who you are, can you talk about more on a high level, kind of what does Loox do and what problem does it solve for Shopify store owners?
Let me start with our mission. Our mission is to help e-commerce entrepreneurs succeed with the power of their happy customers. And what we've built here at Loox is a photo reviews app that helps Shopify merchants collect product reviews with customer photos and then use them to increase sales using social proof that just looks great.
And so now is Loox strictly a Shopify-only solution, or are you multi-platform?
Loox is strictly a Shopify-only solution. We are 100% focused on building the best product for Shopify and Shopify Plus stores. And we found this focus to be very beneficial for us and for our customers.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting to have like a full 20,000 Shopify merchants only, because some apps, developers and marketing platforms that I speak to on this podcast, and they talk about, the size of their active users, usually it's blended across, other e-commerce solutions. But it's exciting that you've kind of made the decision to double down on Shopify and its platform and its partner ecosystem. And now, having over 20,000 now active subscribers. So I think that's pretty impressive and great for this ecosystem. So let's talk about what it does. So how does Loox actually work?
Sure. So Loox is a Shopify app, and installing it is basically as easy as it gets. We integrate automatically with the store, and once you install Loox, we let you customize it for your own brand and needs. Once you have Loox running, we enable merchants to automate post-purchase emails that prompt customers to add their reviews. And we let merchants also offer a next purchase discount if the customer also adds a photo. So these emails, they're fully customizable. Merchants can decide how they look. They can customize the content, their timing, and they can define which incentive they're willing to offer in exchange for a photo review. For example, if a merchant offers, they can offer 20% or $10 off your next purchase if you include a photo of yourself using the product that you bought. After we collect all of the reviews, we display them in beautiful widgets across the store. You can display ratings and reviews on your product pages, of course, on your homepage, on your cart page, on a dedicated reviews page, and so on.
Yeah, I've noticed quite a few different options for these different widgets to display. So no matter whatever theme you're using, if it's a free theme from Shopify or if it's a premium theme from a third-party theme developer or even a custom theme, there are ways of using these widgets to display along with the brand's kind of look and feel and the voice of the brand. So I think that's a really cool feature.
Right. So we can integrate into any theme from the Shopify theme store or custom theme. And we built Loox to be mobile first. So we made sure that all the widgets look great on mobile devices, any screen size.
And obviously, in the age of Instagram now being so popular, I mean, Facebook obviously is the biggie for traffic driver and number of users, but Instagram being so visual and your solution being a visual solution with customers leaving video type or picture type reviews and stuff, it makes sense that you have a mobile first strategy considering that Instagram is mobile first. So there are a lot of people that are listening that maybe understand, I guess, the benefits of maybe product reviews on the product page. But can we talk about like how does kind of generating reviews, like picture reviews, how does it increase sales?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, just like you mentioned, displaying product reviews on the product page is probably the most intuitive benefit because we all know that when we shop online, we check out reviews and reviews help us increase trust and eventually they increase conversion rates. But reviews are actually also a great tool to help merchants gain more traffic and to encourage repeat purchases. So let me go through this and I'll start from the top. So first and foremost, reviews increase conversion rates. When shoppers first visit their website, the visitors are not familiar with the merchant's brand. And since it's online shopping, they can't check out the products physically. So merchants need to win visitors' trust before they can make the sale. And consumers trust consumers more than they trust brands. So enabling your customers to leave detailed reviews on your product pages is a sure way to get your brand be perceived as more reliable and to reduce concerns during the buying process. And what's interesting is that 85% of customers trust online reviews just as much as they trust personal recommendations. And our data shows that when you feature reviews on your website, you will produce an uplift of 26% in sales on average. And I can give you an example. We work with a store called Dart Fly Screens, and they sell fly screens and other motorbike accessories, and they export about 85% of their products. So since the majority of customers can't come to a physical store and see the product from themselves, social proof is just absolutely essential. To date, they've gathered over 1,600 photo reviews with Loox, and each product page now has dozens of reviews with photos showing happy customers. And since they've installed Loox, they've not only seen a significant increase in conversion, but when we spoke with them, we learned that the reviews have actually dramatically decreased incoming support. Since customers can see real photos that show how the product looks on specific bike models, they get much less people inquiring about the product prior to purchase. But another way reviews increase sales is retention. And it's pretty much common knowledge that it's much cheaper to retain an existing customer than to acquire a new one. And this is one of the greatest benefits of using a quality review solution, because when a customer submits a positive review, they become a brand advocate in a way. They're publicly declaring that they love this brand or this product. And if they add a photo of themselves to the review, then they're really putting themselves out there. So by providing those reviewers with a discount for the next purchase, merchants are really making it an easy decision for their happy customers to shop again. And we see amazing stats for this. For some of the stores, we see upwards of 40% discount redemption rate, which is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, we actually conducted a case study with BlendJet, which is a Shopify Plus store, who told us that they've made more money from the repeat sales through customers redeeming their discount than they ever spent on Loox. So even if the reviews did nothing to increase their conversion rate, Loox has more than paid for itself multiple times over.
And that's great to hear, though, too, because, Shopify Plus store owners typically are the high growth, kind of high volume merchants. And I know there's quite a few Plus merchants that have made the choice to use the Loox solution. So it's great to have a case study now that can prove the value of what the solution can do long term for lifetime value and repeat order rate.
Definitely, for sure. And we're currently working with over 250 Shopify Plus stores. And yeah, we're definitely seeing, once you apply what we've built to the scale of Shopify Plus stores, the benefits they reap are just incredible. The last benefit I wanted to cover is traffic, which is, I think, completely unintuitive on how generating reviews is going to help you increase traffic. But if you think about it, visual reviews are great content pieces to share with customers and followers because they provide a beautiful and an authentic endorsement of your products that potential customers can really relate to. And we, with Loox, we help merchants leverage the content that they collect through Loox to drive high quality traffic through social media, through ads, email marketing, and search engines. We did a case study with ICE, which is a leading online jewelry retailer, which is active since 1999. And they reported that they're seeing upwards of 8% conversion rate for traffic coming in through reviews that they shared to social media. So that just comes to show, once you share a review, how strongly it resonates with the audience and how it drives them to purchase as well.
Nice thing too, it's like evergreen content. And I use that term meaning that once the review is there, I mean, it could be 3 months, 6 months, it could be a year old and you're still selling the same product, but it just compounds itself over time of someone leaving a photo review of a product that they're quite happy with. They now become this, as you mentioned, brand advocate. And I think that's, all part of the kind of marketing funnel. It's one of the topics that comes up quite a bit on this show, talking about awareness, like, you think of a funnel wide at the top and narrow at the bottom, but, with the awareness and kind of consideration for a brand. And that's people coming to your website, taking a look, and it really helps. And you mentioned it too, let's win visitors' trust before buying. Well, that's part of the awareness and consideration phase of a brand. If trying to get net new visitors to your website, they get there somehow, word of mouth, through paid acquisition, SEO. There's many ways of getting people to the site. Now they get there and they're considering the product. And wow, what a great way, awareness and consideration wise, to have some trust there. And that just continues down the journey of, them actually converting. Then there's the loyalty and then the advocacy at the end where people are, highly recommending. And, and that's what's happening now with Loox is people are buying, loving the product, a little bit of an incentive to want to share a picture of the product, which then compounds itself on the product page for more trust. And, I wrote one note down as you were speaking that really resonated with me, and I want to make sure that I share it again with everyone. But you said consumers trust other consumers much more than brands themselves. Can you expand a tiny bit on that? Because I think that's quite a compelling statement that consumers trust other consumers more than brands.
I can speak about, the fact that especially the younger generation, they're just used to live in social media and they're used to getting other people's opinions and they're used to consulting with strangers. And they're able to exchange information with people who they don't physically know on a very high trust level, right. which is just part of why reviews work so well. People, when people see a photo review, it's very obvious that it's not fake. I mean, you see 20 different photo reviews for one product, and you can see it's not a professional photo. It hasn't been photoshopped, and we kind of just have this innate mechanism which lets us know that this seems authentic. And when you see an action used by real people like yourself, it's really easy to kind of relate to that and make a decision based on the content.
Yeah, Ezra Firestone, who's a influencer in the e-commerce space and runs Smart Marketer and a few other websites, but he also he's actually a practitioner selling online through quite a few brands. And one of his brands is called Boom by Cindy Joseph, and it's a cosmetic brand, more for baby boomers, so kind of the 50 plus kind of market. And, when you go to Boom by Cindy Joseph, I'll put it in the show notes for people to have a look, but, you may not be impressed. And I would say probably not impressed at all in the design and the look and feel of the website itself. It has a very older looking, not a modern, slicker look that you would think that a newish cosmetic brand would have. And so, but the reality is that its claim to fame and why it does so well, and Ezra's been very public about this, is that it's because of the brand advocates and the people that are sharing their experiences with the product. And, and then you can really see yourself using the product. So, all of these women thousands of them through widgets on the product page, on the footer, all over, really, really, really sells the benefits of the product without the brand having to push it so hard. It's like other people are helping you sell your product. Number one, because you have a great product, people really, really like it. And then using review solution through picture and video is very compelling in that sales process.
Yeah, I mean, competition has never been more fierce in e-commerce. And it's just going to become more and more expensive to just try to throw marketing dollars on cold audiences and hope to convert them. And this means, that the brands need to find a sustainable strategy, which has to be based on a loyal customer base, on advocates, on people who buy again, refer friends, provide social proof, and so on, as a way to build this kind of compounding system that keeps on generating sales without always investing more money to acquire them.
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. That's another takeaway is that for the merchants and brands that I have an opportunity to work with, it's like this is a strategy that's been implemented and it's a long-term play, but it does have short-term benefits right away by if you don't have any reviews in picture, it starts, as you said, it starts to compound over time, but it really starts compounding within 6 months to the 1 year mark because then you have so many of them on there and diverse of people. And then you put, as a purchaser, a potential buyer, you kind of put yourself in the shoes of other people that have kind of walked before you and seeing they're enjoying the product and they've taken time out of their day to actually get it up there and share it with the brand because they love it so much. So I think that's really, really cool. So I'm always fascinated with the journey of Shopify app partners. So tell me why you've decided to focus on visual reviews.
So after I graduated, I joined Sears, the American retailer who just declared bankruptcy. And I joined as a product manager. Sears had acquired an Israeli startup and they turned it into an innovation center, which is focused mainly on social e-commerce experiences. And that's how I really got to know the domain. And that's where I also met my partner, Moran, who is our CTO. And 3 years ago, Moran and I decided to start our own business. And it was just basically natural for us to innovate in a space we knew well and we liked after years of working for Sears on social e-commerce products. And back then, reviews, which are arguably the most important asset you can have in e-commerce, in social e-commerce, reviews were stuck in the 90s. They were just unattractive lists of 5 stars in text. And many consumers started suspecting that reviews that they read online might be fake. And seen big companies struggle with this kind of perception. At the same time, the web was becoming increasingly visual with experiences like Instagram and Pinterest. And for us, we just knew there's a great opportunity here. And we were actually the first ones to introduce photo reviews on Shopify. I think that in hindsight, it seems kind of obvious that visual marketing is now dominating the web. But specifically when it comes to reviews, we found that visual reviews convert much, much better than text-only reviews. And our data shows that photo reviews on product pages will drive up to 91% uplift in conversions.
That's amazing because it kind of reminds me when I was recently looking to buy a book and I wanted to read the reviews, and visually on Amazon alone, you tend to, if there's hundreds of reviews, you tend to go towards the ones where the person's actually taken the time to take a picture and show them with the book in their hands. And then sometimes there's text underneath it. So I think you're spot on there.
Yeah, and I can tell you there's some science behind why this happens. Visuals, they evoke a strong emotional response with people, and that's a primary factor in most purchase decisions. Also, our brains, they process images 60,000 times faster than we process text. And speed matters because we form a first impression in less than a second. In 50 milliseconds, we form a first impression, and that's not enough time to actually read textual reviews, but more than enough to process images and other visual cues on the page. So the bottom line is before the visitor even gets to reading the textual reviews on your site, they often already made up their mind about whether or not to trust your brand based on visual cues alone.
Yeah, and it goes back to the same comment I made about the Boom by Cindy Joseph website. Even though maybe the website doesn't have the slickest look and feel, one thing it does do very, very well is visually show lots of women in their 50s, 60s, and 70s using the product. And so it's quite compelling that, yeah, I'm with my people. These people made a decision to use this product, and so I'm likely going to buy it too. And hence his conversion rate is through the roof, his reorder rate is through the roof, average order value, the long-term growth is there too, all because of using picture reviews on their homepage and product page. Let's talk about user-generated content. Why is it so valuable then for Shopify merchants?
Just like we discussed, 2019 is going to be the biggest year for e-commerce ever in history. And there has never been more competition. As we discussed, just throwing dollars on cold audiences is not going to be a sustainable strategy for the long term. And that brings us to the era of brand building. Brands that succeed, they do so through their loyal customer base. These are customers who buy from you repeatedly, they tell their friends, and this is where the money is. So branding doesn't just mean having a catchy name or a cool logo. It's about building an actual relationship with customer, and there's nothing more authentic and relatable than user-generated content. So this has to be a major part of every brand's e-commerce strategy for 2019.
So let's jump under the hood then. So we see the benefits, we understand the lifetime value, we understand the trust factors that go along with it, win visitors with trust before you're buying. And we understand now that consumers definitely trust other consumers more than brands. We understand there's a technology stack through Loox, through widgets that can implement this process. So let's talk about maybe some notable features that you can share with our listeners.
Sure, of course. So just like you mentioned, the basics are automatic review request emails to collect reviews, and our beautiful widgets, which display the reviews anywhere on your store. And we've been working on building lots of very exciting new stuff lately. So let me just kind of give you a few examples. We've been building integrations with other apps that help us enhance the Loox experience. So for example, we've integrated with Aftership, which enables us to time emails according to actual delivery times. Partnered with Push Owl, which enables us to collect reviews through web push notifications. We will also soon release integrations that will let merchants collect reviews through Facebook Messenger. We've integrated with Smile.io and with Loyalty Line, and they enable merchants to reward reviewers with loyalty points. And we've integrated with Google Shopping. We've integrated with Facebook tabs, with Shopify Flow, which is available for Shopify Plus stores. And there are many more coming. And I'd like to mention just another feature that we released last quarter, which I'm really excited about, and we call it the Loox pop-up. The Loox pop-up is really a whole new way to build strong trust with visitors. It's a social proof pop-up that surfaces relevant reviews while shoppers are browsing the store, even before they scroll down to the review section. So it's a context-aware, smart pop-up, which helps merchants drive visitors from the homepage to a product page, from a product page to the cart page, and from cart page to checkout. We launched it about 3 months ago, and we already have thousands of stores who've activated the pop-up, and we've been getting incredible feedback from merchants.
Very cool. And so how is that pop-up triggered? Is it a time-based or is it kind of action-based on the site?
So we let merchants configure how often they want this pop-up to appear, but basically it's a pop-up that appears in one of the corners of your screen and showcases a review that's relevant to the current page that the visitor is viewing. So if you're viewing the homepage, we'll display different reviews from all sorts of products with the goal of helping the customer discover a product that they'd like and to move to the product page. On the product page, we'll only surface reviews related to that specific product, and so on. We also display the pop-up on the cart page, and it just basically helps merchants immediately surface this kind of indication that, hey, we have positive reviews. You can even see the photo right here, and there's a great click-through rate for this pop-up, especially with first-timers.
There's a theme to this podcast episode today about building trust with your potential buyers. And, this is certainly one way of doing it. And it sounds like with this pop-up, you have that opportunity to be able to show relevant pictures from customers who have purchased. I think that's pretty cool. Now, how do you generate a lot of reviews? Because I mean, we obviously have proven the fact that having a lot of 5-star reviews certainly is evergreen content that's available on the product page. And, you'll get more over time as these automatic email requests go out. And then obviously with your great connections now just to the app ecosystem, we've interviewed Smile and Loyalty Lion and Ship and Push Owl. And like a lot of these ones are quite popular on Shopify. So it's great that you're connecting to all those ones, which will help trigger and incentivizing these picture reviews. But what sort of tactics can you share that people can use to get more reviews?
Yeah, on a strategic level, you need to have a great product and to provide great customer service. Without that, it's going to be hard to generate actual, 5-star reviews. But on a tactical level, there are many things that you need to do in order to really maximize this funnel's output. So I'll go over this quickly. We also prepared a blog post detailing all of our tips on how to generate as much reviews as possible. And I'm just going to give the highlights. So number one, make it easy for the customer. As a merchant, you want to remove any friction and really make it easy for a customer to leave a review. This is why we keep our review process simple. It's a slick review form that asks for 5-star rating, text, and a photo, and it can be done within a minute. My second tip is automate. Consumers often leave a review for a business when they're asked. An automated review generation process is a great way to make sure that you're always asking your customer for a review rather than expecting them to come back to your website and proactively write one. Number 3, give an incentive. Simply asking for a review is great, but some customers will need some extra motivation to invest the time to write up a review and to add their photo. So to give this extra nudge, make sure you include some kind of an attractive offer. It could be a discount for the next purchase or loyalty points. And this way you don't only get more reviews, but you really also increase your chances for repeat business. Number 4, customize the email body and the subject. So we did a data research, and based on over 2 million review request emails that we sent out last month, the average open rate reached 36%, which is great, but this varies drastically from brand to brand. Customizing email subjects to better fit your audience, you can significantly boost open rates and the number of reviews that you generate. We found some strategies such as emphasizing the incentive, injecting some humor, or running a contest, which are extremely effective. Number 5 is timing. There's no easier way to frustrate your customer than to send them a review request when the product hasn't arrived yet. So you want to make sure to properly time your review requests, calculate your average delivery time, add some safety margin, add like 4 or 5 days to find the right timing to let them have a chance to use the product. And there are great chances they've already taken a photo of the product. So if your delivery times vary a lot between individual orders, it would be best to rely on a solution that can automate review requests based on actual delivery time for each customer. This is why we offer the after-ship integration to make sure that we don't get the review requests not too soon and not too late. Number 6, reminders. So sometimes your initial request will catch the customer in the wrong time. It doesn't mean that the customer is not interested to leave a review. It just means they might have been on the go. They might just not have time at the moment. So sending them a second request, kind of a gentle reminder to complete their review, is very effective. And we found that it helps our merchants generate 30% more reviews. And last but not least is photo reminders. And since we prioritize photo reviews in our review generation strategy, we help merchants increase the number of photos that they can collect, even if when the customer left their original review, it was just a textual one. So they might have not had time to take a photo, and we let merchants send a photo reminder email saying, hey, thanks for your review. Why don't you add a photo to it? And then again, offer an incentive to give them this small nudge to complete it.
Yeah, this is great. I'll make sure in the show notes, I haven't had a chance to read it, but after we're done recording today, I'm going to go to your blog and get the link to kind of the keys, the full in-depth article on keys to generating a lot more reviews. And I guess as a summary, these 7 points that I jotted down. So make it easy for the customer. Make sure you automate the process, offer an incentive, delicately nudge them in the right direction to want to leave a photo review, customize your email and your body copy just to get a high open rate. This is an A/B test nonstop until you continue getting an open rate that's acceptable for your brand and industry. And timing again, I totally agree with you on timing. I think that's a very important strategy because you're right. You don't want to send reviews. I've read reviews where, hey, I just got it yesterday, or I've only had it for a day, or it hasn't arrived yet, but I'm going to give it a 5-star because I'm really excited that it's coming. And I don't think that's not as effective as timing it correctly. It's nice that you've connected with AfterShip, and there's a few other solutions out there that will trigger and help people locate their packages, and then knowing when it's being delivered, a webhook back to you to then go ahead and send out that review request. Reminders, obviously you mentioned, so nudging people in the right direction again. Everyone's busy. You may catch them at the wrong time. It could have been an AM or a PM, or they're busy, or they're working, and people can get sidetracked. And so just like a cart recovery emails, you look and see, sometimes it's not always the first email or push notification or Facebook Messenger retargeting notification that is the one that converts an abandoned cart. So it could be the second or third, and it's just being consistent and getting it out there and doing it. And it's nice that you have that reminder option. And then, same with the photo reminders. If you have a text review but no photo, incentivize that. I think these 7 are really great tactics that you as a site owner should seriously consider. If you don't have picture reviews, it's time to implement a solution like this. So we are nearing the end of the show. Do you have any kind of closing comments or any kind of takeaways that you would like to leave with our listeners today?
Sure. So I'm just going to repeat the highlights that we discussed during this episode. One, we're entering the era of brand building, which means stronger relationships with customers. Number 2, social proof and user-generated content are extremely important for brand building and making more sales. Number 3, visuals are significantly more effective in building strong and quick trust with customers compared to textual reviews. And last but not least, Loox is the only app geared specifically for generating visual social proof, both in terms of functionality and of design. We'd love you to check us out, and you can reach out if you have any questions.
So the next step here is how people can learn more about the Loox app. And the easiest way would be to go to the Shopify App Store, and you can search for Loox, which is Loox, and you can add it to your store. You can go to their website at Loox, so loox.app, so Loox app. We've also spoken to Yoni, has been very generous, and they typically have a 14-day free trial for their solution. But because you're a listener of the E-commerce Fastlane podcast, I've created a redirect. So if you go to ecommercefastlane.com/Loox, it will redirect you to a 30-day free trial, and it'll give you an opportunity to really see the solution in action. And then you can allow for a full month's worth of orders that are being processed through your Shopify store, to have the opportunity for these emails to go out, start collecting photo reviews and getting them published on widgets and on your product pages, really, with the goal of helping you get that trust and authority and getting people more interested in wanting to convert and buy from you. So awesome. Thanks so much, Yoni, for coming on the show today and sharing your wins and successes so far with 20,000 users. Cheers to 2019. And thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Steve, for having me. I'm really happy we found the time to have this chat.
All the links mentioned on today's episode is available at ecommercefastlane.com/39 for episode 39. I would love to hear your feedback and the results that you've achieved after implementing the Loox solution. So make sure you take advantage of that 30-day trial, and then ping me on Twitter at Stephen Hutt, or join over 6,000 other Shopify brands and entrepreneurs on the Thriving with Shopify Facebook page. And that's it for today's episode. I'd like to thank you, a loyal listener of the show, and it's my hope this podcast is offering you a ton of value through growth strategies, tactics, and exclusive insider tips on the best Shopify apps and marketing platforms, all with my personal goal to help you build, launch, grow, and scale with Shopify. Thanks for investing some time today and listening to the show. I'm so proud that you have a growth mindset and are a constant learner. I truly appreciate you and your entrepreneurial journey. Enjoy the rest of your week and keep thriving with Shopify.